made on Ridgeway Sports Podcast, episode 62. Hunter Keister back with
K-Mac, let's get it.
And we are back for another week in sports, going over some Big Ten basketball, looking at the league in the Big Ten basketball college landscape and how it's shaken up in the month of January as we are closing it out last week of January. And it's been a real competitive, tight race in the Big Ten this year. So, looking forward to some competitive basketball. Looking from Saturday, January 21st, Iowa takes on Ohio State, and Ohio State blows them out 93-77 in Columbus. So they play a real good game. Penn State, Nebraska. Penn State wins 76-65 at home. Michigan State, Indiana, 69-82. Indiana gets the huge win over Michigan State. That's pretty crazy. Maryland, Purdue. Purdue barely gets the 3-point win over Maryland to avoid the upset. Michigan played Minnesota. They end up picking up a win on this Sunday, 60-56. Monday, January 23rd, Wisconsin 63, Northwestern 66. They pick up the home win. On Tuesday, Rutgers has one of the best defenses in the country right now, and obviously in the Big Ten, and they only give up 45 to Purdue at home, 65-45. Also on this night, Illinois with a 9-point win over Ohio State at home. Looking at Wednesday, Indiana gets a win, 61-57 over Minnesota. Maryland whoops on Wisconsin, 73-55. And Northwestern beats Nebraska, 78-63. Bringing us to Thursday, January 26th tonight, where we have Michigan State edge out Iowa in East Lansing, 63-61. A great game to kick off the night, as well as the game we just finished up watching in Ann Arbor versus Michigan versus Purdue. Kurt, what did you think of this game?
You know, I knew we would stay in this game, but man, oh man, missed opportunities. This is the big word for me here. A lot of missed threes, some missed free throws, a little bit more of the same. That's been the common narrative this year.
Yeah.
This season especially.
Poor shooting, poor free throws. Really good defense. I thought Dickinson played ID about as well as he could. Really contesting a lot of those, and a lot of the makes were just Edey having the reach and the length. But I felt like as a team they played great, solid defense. But they just, it's a real close 5-point game, and you just make a couple of those shots. Obviously, it's a different game, but it doesn't happen. Michigan, it's a real tight game. They lose by 5 at home. And, Michigan's tournament hopes are looking pretty bleak. But let's get into this game, look it over a little bit better. From the Michigan side, Dickinson leads the way scoring-wise, 21 points on 6 of 14 shooting, 3 of 7 from 3, 6 of 8 from the foul line, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block, not bad. Bufkin puts in 16 points on 7 of 15 shooting. He could have shot a little bit better, but still not bad.
He was really the only one scoring though.
He in the fourth, Dickinson didn't do anything in the second half. Honestly, Michigan came out flat to start the second half, and Purdue just looked like they wanted it more. And down the stretch, it kind of looked that way too. I mean, I've complained about Howard's rotation a lot, but Isaiah Barnes is shooting 1 of 4. Like, why is he getting shots? Jace Howard took a couple really bad shots. Bufkin had a really bad step back 3 attempt.
Yeah.
There's just some of the stuff's got to fall on coaching, you know what I mean? As a team, I guess it says we shot better, 15 of 30. We shot about the same from the foul line.
Yeah.
36 and 35, and that's their game.
I just feel like
Oh, that's from 3-point land, not foul, but
it's the threes for me.
yeah, the threes.
They had double the amount of turnovers as we did, 12-6. We had more assists. They out-rebounded us, but I'm not really surprised when they had freaking...
and he only got 9 rebounds. He got 19 points, 9 rebounds. I mean, you'll take that for a guy.
You can live with that.
Yeah, for a guy of his caliber, you're going to give that up. Anybody's going to give that up. But I felt like, other than that, Michigan played solid, and it just comes down to their lack of being able to make shots and really have that true guy that can take over and score. Jet Howard has shown he can be that guy in spurts, not all the way yet, and now he's battling an ankle injury.
I think if he's in there, we have a pretty good chance of winning this.
Oh, Michigan! I think they have a real good chance to win if he plays tonight, but he doesn't. They come away with a close defeat at home, and they will have to rebound as their next game was, I believe, Penn State on the road.
Yeah, they play Penn State next.
Well, yeah, I mean, for for Purdue, they're led by Fletcher Lawyer.
Yeah.
17 points. That's not bad. Smith had 10 points. He had 2 assists. I needed him for 4, of course. He doesn't do that. More my betting. But, yeah, just a solid game for Purdue. But I felt like they were beatable tonight. And if Michigan played a better game and shot a better game, they would have won. But doesn't happen. Good game to Purdue. And we move on. But let's move on and let's talk NFL football. Divisional round. We're going to recap that and set up your matchups for the weekend as the conference championship games are going to be played.
Yeah. So we pretty much picked the same picks last week. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So we'll open up with the first game, Jaguars-Chiefs. Jokingly, before the game, I said, unless Mahomes gets hurt, True story.
True as he said it, clear as day. And
as soon as he made that bet for him getting 250-plus passing yards,
just about.
I was like, he'll probably get it unless he gets hurt. And then I think it was about the second quarter, one of the Jags D linemen landed wrong on his the bottom of his shin.
Yeah, I think he had a right ankle sprain now.
Yeah, high ankle sprain. Yeah. He said he's good to go, but we'll preview that in here in a minute. But back to this game. I feel like the Jaguars, they lost 20-27. I think they just played a little bit too conservative. Yeah. They had chances to really get into this game, but I feel like with a lot of their passing, they passed so many times underneath. That's what I remember from this game. I thought their defense hung in there pretty well. I mean, holding the Chiefs 27. I know Pacheco had 90-plus yards rushing, but their defense played about as good as you can ask them to play in that game.
Right.
I know Mahomes was hurt. I mean, Chad Henne had a 98-yard touchdown drive. That was huge.
Right.
That was honestly probably one of the biggest points of the game. Kelsey was a monster. I think he had 15 receptions, close to 100 yards. I want to say he had 2 touchdowns.
Did he?
Yeah, I know he had at least one.
Yeah.
From Chad Henne.
Right.
The Chiefs' defense honestly played pretty well. They forced Trevor Lawrence into some turnovers. But for me, I think it was when the Jags were going in late fourth quarter to score and make this a one-possession game, Jamal Agnew fumbles the ball.
Devastating.
Yeah, I remember it was first and goal.
You can't have a mistake like that against the Chiefs.
First and goal, I believe, or second and goal, and they were getting in to score to bring it within a one-score game. I think it was I want to say 17-24 or something.
Yeah,
I don't remember exactly, but they could have scored there and really gotten this thing pretty down to the wire.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, the Jags lose, and nothing to be ashamed of there. The Chiefs have slain many of a teams and opponents there at home. So we picked the Jags to cover, and they covered the spread.
Yep.
So the Chiefs move on. Giants and Eagles. I think a lot of people had this game closer than what it was. But the Eagles, right from the start, were already up 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. The Giants went 3-and-out way too much. And on their first drive, they go for it on 4th and 8, and they don't get it. That, to me, was just... I don't know why you're so gutsy there that early in the game.
Yep.
But they don't get it. The Giants don't even score till, man, I think it was, the third quarter with a Saquon Barkley Wildcat hand off to Matt Breida, which hurt us on one of our bets.
Yeah, whoever had Saquon Barkley anytime touchdown, I'm sure you feel our pain on that one.
But the Eagles absolutely annihilated the Giants. Daniel Jones didn't really play too well. Jalen Hurts in that offense played pretty dang well.
Yeah.
Kenneth Gainwell had a touchdown. What was his name? I can't remember his name. The other running back for the Eagles. Boston Scott had a touchdown. Jalen Hurts 2 touchdowns. No interceptions. Just pretty much a repeat of when these two teams played the first time earlier in the year. And the Eagles move on to the conference round where they'll be hosting the NFC Championship. And I picked the Eagles to cover the spread in that one. I think you did too.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So that'll bring us to the Sunday games. Cincinnati went to Buffalo, and they pretty much handled Buffalo. I never really felt like Buffalo had a chance to win this game, honestly. Right from the jump, they maneuvered a touchdown drive to Jamar Chase in the snow. The Bengals just went in there, pretty much just controlled the Bills.
Controlled for most of the game, yeah. Handled business. Did what they needed to on the road. And honestly, just control the game from A to Z. Never was really in doubt for the Bengals, and they just played really good and stuck to their guns. And Joe Burrow played real good as he always does, and they get that nice, convincing 27-10 win.
Yeah. That was mind-boggling to me why Buffalo was favored by 5 points.
Yeah.
That was... I couldn't believe people favored Buffalo that much. So, yeah, Josh Allen didn't really play too well. I'm not going to place all the blame on him, but this really brings some questions to Buffalo about maybe investing in your offensive line and getting a run game going. That way it's not all on his shoulders. Nonetheless, Cincinnati ran the ball for 150-plus yards. Jamar Chase should have had 2 touchdowns, but that second catch, that looked like a touchdown.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, the Bengals win. Big win for them. Buffalo gets sent home early again, as they were the Super Bowl favorites at the very beginning of the year. So Cincinnati will move on to play the Chiefs. And that leaves us with the last game on Sunday, 49ers versus Dallas. 49ers won the game 19-12. This was a very defensive, low-scoring game. A lot of punts. Brock Purdy, just did what he had to do to win. No touchdowns. Converted a couple of third downs. No interceptions. Like I said, not much of an offensive game, though. Couldn't really get a run game going with McCaffrey or Mitchell. Honestly, I think McCaffrey's hurt. He looked like he got hurt last week. I'm not going to lie. I think that probably impacted him. But I think the biggest thing for Dallas was Dak with those 2 interceptions. That first one hurt a lot. I want to say because they were on their side of the field, so that allowed the Niners a short field to kick a field goal. And that second one was real bad timing as well because they were heading in to score on San Fran's, I think, 20-ish yard line. Tony Pollard getting hurt definitely didn't help anyone, especially Dallas, because you can't run the ball, as we know. CeeDee Lamb had a big day, but other than that, nobody else really did anything for Dallas. Their defense played about as well as you could ask, but those 2 turnovers is probably what did it in for Dallas.
Oh, yeah. Prescott he gets him there every time, but he just cannot get him through the game. And I think a serious quarterback conversation could be needed in Dallas.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments what you think about that. But
Dallas had a couple chances. Like, I remember Trayvon Diggs had a couple gimme interceptions, but you got to catch those.
Yep.
And games like this, it comes down to those turnovers.
Obviously, Tony Pollard getting injured doesn't help anything, but next man up, there's injuries on every team. So
Absolutely. So San Fran scored in the fourth quarter. It was a 9-9 ball game at that point. San Fran gets a touchdown early in the fourth, and Dallas just couldn't really do anything in the end of the game on that ridiculous play with Zeke as center. Then Dak throws it to Turpin, and that's a wrap. So Dallas gets sent home early. I picked the Niners to cover the spread, and they did cover it. So now that leads us to the games this Sunday, where at 3 o'clock, the Eagles will be hosting against the 49ers. The Eagles are favored 2.5 points. And to be honest with you, I am definitely smashing that for sure. I have little to no doubt about the Eagles winning this game for a few reasons. One, I think the Purdy mania is over. It's hard to see a rookie quarterback going to the Super Bowl for the first time ever. I don't think that's ever been done. And I think Philadelphia's offense is going to have more than 9 points through 3 quarters. So they're going to really need... San Fran's defense is going to have to get a couple turnovers and play lights out. And I think the Eagles will just be a little bit too much for them. I think Hurts is going to play a big game. And honestly, I like the Eagles. 28, maybe 31-17. I don't think it's going to be close. I'm not an Eagles fan, but I'm getting major 2017 Eagles vibes with this game when they blew out Minnesota at home. I think Purdy just, it's a lot different on the road.
For a rookie.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot on his shoulders. And the Eagles defense is, I think it's pretty evident they're pretty good. 70+ sacks, and they just obliterated the Giants for what you want to call it. It was still a big win. What are your thoughts on this one? Do you think San Fran hangs in there? You think they pull a shocker? Or you think the Eagles win?
So in the beginning of the week, I said the Eagles. I think I'm gonna stick with them. That game is just so close to call because I could really see Purdy rising to the occasion and actually making this a game. But you brought up a good point with McCaffrey.
I feel like he's hurt,
and he got bottled up real bad last week, and if he's not 100%, that would also contribute to it. So he's a tough guy to bet on. I think I'll stay with the Eagles for right now. I think the Eagles
just a straight up win.
I think they get it done maybe 24-17.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
For sure. As we talk about the next game, the line has switched multiple times throughout this week. At one point, the Chiefs were favored by 2 points. Then it flipped to the Bengals being favored by 1.5 points. And now it's flipped back to the Chiefs being favored by 1.5. This is a big rematch from last year's game, and they played this year as well. Joe Burrow is 3-0 versus Mahomes. They beat him last year in the AFC Championship game at Kansas City. Same scene. And, leading up to the playoffs, I was really heavy on Cincinnati being big time in the playoffs, and so far they've showed up for sure. I'm pretty confident in saying I think the Bengals are going to pull this out, to be honest with you. Burrow always plays good against Mahomes and the Chiefs. It's going to be a good battle of offense versus offense, though I'm a little concerned about Mahomes being injured. I don't know how much that's going to limit him, but I think it was pretty evident last week he wasn't as mobile as usual.
Yep.
You could see it. He was literally having to hop around.
Yeah.
Even when he handed the ball off, he couldn't do a proper handoff.
No, he was hobbling on that.
And I think just for that and just how the Bengals defense plays the Chiefs so tough, I mean, if you remember last year, they only allowed 3 points the entire second half. And this year, they learned the game plan was to bottle up Kelsey, and make Mahomes look elsewhere. So I think you kind of you copy that game plan, and let's head in and let's see if we can do it again. And I think the Bengals go in there and they beat the Chiefs. I like a higher scoring game. I like the Bengals to probably win it. I like them to cover the 1.5 spread. I do like them to cover, but I like it probably 28-24, maybe 27-24 Bengals with the win. I think Burrow plays another great game, probably I like 2 touchdowns, no picks. And I like Mahomes probably 2 touchdowns with the pick. It's just, I think the Bengals just have more ways, offensively speaking, to move the ball with Mixon and P. Ryan, where the Chiefs, unless they've been saving Pacheco for this game, I like the Bengals here to win. I think they do it again. Then they go in there and beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, Mahomes being injured is just too much. I think Burrow continues his dominance over the Chiefs. I think Mahomes will fight, and I think that offense will keep it close and make this an exciting game nonetheless. But I think when all the dust settles, it will end up being Burrow going to the Super Bowl once again.
It's going to be a close game for sure. I think.
Who knows how healthy Mahomes is really going to be, and especially right now, we don't really know. So we're going off what we've seen, and Mahomes wasn't looking too good. So who knows how good he can really get in a week's time
with that high ankle sprain.
Right.
I mean, knock on wood. Who's to say he doesn't get hurt during the game? Yeah. Nobody wants to see that, but he's already hurt.
Don't even put that in that. Don't even put that energy out there. You've been saying stuff, and this is coming true.
Unfortunately, but yeah, I feel real confident about it being a Bengals-Eagles Super Bowl. I'm really feeling that one, and I think that's a good matchup. Yeah. I really think it would be. But who knows? Maybe the Chiefs will finally pull it off and beat them. But I'm not feeling it this time. Now Mahomes is healthy, maybe, but it's just I don't know, man. I don't see it. Really can't see it. So hopefully we'll see how these odds work. But right now, Chiefs are favored by 1.5 and Eagles by 2.5. That's about it, really.
Yeah, I think that got that. We got the basketball. Yeah, we can touch on the hockey in the next one when the Penn State series happens. Nothing really to catch up on there, so I think that's good.
All right. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens this weekend.
Yeah, let us know.
Should make for some good games.
I think it will. I think it will actually make for good, exciting football as the season comes to an end. But we will call it an episode there as we get another week in Sports Done, episode 62, made on Ridgeway Sports Podcast. Peace.
Adios.